We've all heard stories about UFOs, but what are they? Aliens? Secret state-of-the-art technology? Or something else entirely? Let's find out on today's episode of
Colossal Questions.
UFO stands for Unidentified Flying Object. What's that exactly? Well, technically speaking, it refers to any unknown object in the sky that can't be officially ID'd. There's been thousands of reported UFO sightings in the skies across the globe. A vast majority of these sightings have been since the 1940s, and mostly in the US, but not all of them. More than one Roman historian wrote about seeing strange things in the sky. Residents of a medieval city apparently saw hundreds of spheres, cylinders, and other odd-shaped objects flying in all directions overhead. But it wasn't until the 1940s that the number of reported sightings skyrocketed. Most think the phenomenon started with fighter pilots. You see, while flying long missions at night, pilots would sometimes report seeing unexplained lights or other odd occurrences in the sky. This was right around the time the government started using the term UFO to describe these sorts of sightings. The first report that really caught public attention was made by American pilot Kenneth Arnold in June of 1947. He reported seeing 9 flying saucers or flying discs flying fast and in formation. Around the same time, the US military recovered debris from a crash in Roswell, New Mexico. This became known as the Roswell UFO Incident, one of the most famous UFO sightings in history. Both of these sightings started to drum up a ton of public interest in UFOs. Before long, there were a slew of new sightings being reported all over the country. Stories of aliens and flying saucers had gripped the nation. Legitimate or not, people seemed to be seeing UFOs everywhere. Okay, so UFOs are definitely real, as in there are some objects in the sky that just can't be ID'd. What actually are they? Well, in the case of Kenneth Arnold, there's no concrete explanation for what he witnessed, but many at the time believed he saw a state-of-the-art jet overhead from a nearby airbase. And as for Roswell, it was a top-secret military balloon that crashed in the desert. Officials rushed to the scene and shrouded the whole thing in secrecy, not because of aliens, but because their UFO was classified government property. As for the rest, most UFO sightings are later found to be normal objects, like aircraft, weather balloons, or even kites. Others were caused by natural phenomena like oddly shaped clouds, meteors, or electromagnetic activity. Some sightings can be chalked up to good old-fashioned pranks. Given the amount of interest in UFOs and how much media coverage they can get, pranksters the world over have seized on the chance to cause a little chaos. And of course, there are a very few percentage of UFO sightings that remain unexplained mysteries to this day. In fact, in the age of high-def cameras, images and footage of UFOs have even been officially released by the US government. Most of these show small pyramid or sphere-shaped UFOs soaring through the sky and moving around in ways that seem otherworldly. What are they? Well, they remain unidentified flying objects until we can figure out what they are. Okay, so are UFOs real? Yup. It's just that they almost always turn out to be something perfectly explainable in the end. But for that tiny sliver of sightings that simply can't be explained, well, I guess we'll all just keep wondering.